everyone, it's Serena from Payroll Waits, and today I'm going to be reviewing The Handmaid's Tale, Season 5, Episode 3, Border. Y'all, just to let you know, I don't know if I have a cold, the flu, COVID, who knows? I don't feel that good, so that's why I've kind of been behind on getting my videos out, but I wanted to make sure, because we're going in the order of the poll, people prefer Handmaid's Tale over everything else. But I promise, I'm going to get the last 3 videos out. You have my word. But let's go ahead and get into this week's episode. So if I sound weird, if my energy feels off, I'm tired, but I took some Theraflu so I can make it through this review, okay? All right. So we see at the end of last week's episode, Serena basically declared war with June, okay? That smirk she had at the end, she was just like, Beach, I've had enough. I've had enough with you, all right? So we see that June is just so shooketh that she is still sitting on the couch reflecting on life. She's holding this picture of Hannah, of her as a little girl. Luke come up to her like, are you okay? Luke. Do you think she okay? Would you be okay if you saw your daughter with the devil? Would you be okay? Are you okay, Luke? Why would you ask her that dumbass question? But she is too focused on the color that Hannah was wearing. She was wearing purple and she was just like, I never seen that color before. Moira came in like, I ain't seen that color either. So she's trying to figure out what does that color mean, because nothing is done without perfect, delicate care in Gilead. So that color has to mean something. It has to be of importance. So she's trying to figure out what it was. But it's interesting because when Moira makes that comment, like, I don't know what purple means, but I saw that she wasn't wearing pink anymore. So we know that she's not a little girl anymore. And so you start to think about all this time that has been taken away from June and from Luke of not being able to watch their little girl grow up into a young woman. So we see that June wants to talk to Nick, but, you know, Luke is like, hey, we can't do that without going through Mr. Tuello's raggedy office. And then Moira was like, oh, well, there's another way. And she said, Beast, hold on. What you mean it's another way? And when the heck would you gonna tell me? I said June like rose up on Moira. I was like, I would have been like, square up then. Square up if you want to figure out how you can get to Nick, ho, okay? I mean, I didn't mean to call June a hoe, but the way that she popped off at Moira, I was like, oh, you feeling froggy? Leap then. Leap, June. But we know June about that life, so I ain't even going to say that to her. So Moira tells us there's another group of people outside the border. And she gets upset, and she was just like, look, girl, you know you're crazy. You know that you need to be around people who are very level-headed. Them people are suicidal. I would definitely not let you near them with a 10-foot pole, okay? Absolutely not. Not having it. But for Hannah, she said, I will make this exception. I will kind of connect you two, but men can't go. So Luke has to stay home. I really pray that someday Luke gonna have something to do rather than sit and wait around for everybody else to do something for him. But we see that they end up meeting up with a young woman by the name of Lily, who actually ended up being one of the women who were like the prisoners that they exchanged for Fraggedy at the end of the season 4 finale. And so it's interesting because they're having this conversation and she just is basically tooting June's horn. Like, that's so dope what you did, the way that you were able to get the young kids out of here. And the Martha's like, that was really great what you did. And she was like, oh, I was just lucky. And then she was like, it's funny how women say that when they do something extraordinary. And it is in a society, like, women always feel like they got to dim their light in order. Like, no, girl, like, you did the damn thing. You got all these kids out, these Marthas out, you exchanged women who are fighting for the cause. Like, you better celebrate that. Like, that took balls for, go figure, that took balls for you to actually, for someone to be able to do that, yet alone a woman, yet alone a handmaid, okay? So you better go ahead and toot your own horn, I love me, and say, I did that. All right, June? Okay, but she's trying to figure out how can they get a hold of Nick. And she was like, is he a commander? She was like, yeah. And then, does he go to Jezebel's? And then she kind of looked at Moira. She was like, no. And I was like, Nick is not a thought. He only has eyes for June. Stop it. So, but she was like, there's another way we can get it. Like, don't worry about it. It was just be a little bit easier because she had women, you know, basically in the little brothel where somebody said Commander Stabler in the comment section last week, and that literally sent me to the person who said that. That made my whole day, and it just made me think about it because she killed Commander Stabler. in the brothel, even though I know that's not his name, but anybody who grew up around black aunties, mamas, or just anybody's mamas, because I feel like the entire world was watching SVU. But back on task. So we see that Mr. Tuello, I hate him so much. Like, I just can't. So Mr. Tuello is with Serena still, and they in Gilead, and then he was basically, you know, she was like, I know this must be an inconvenience for you. And he was like, no, you know, we're just here. I'm here for you every step of the way, you know, to apologize for the miscommunication about Commander Waterford. I said, time out. Miscommunication is like, hey, I told Fraggedy to be here at 5, but he was really supposed to be here at 9. Sorry for the mix-up. Okay, that's a miscommunication. But her husband being killed because you literally turned him over to Gilead, who then turned him over to June, that is not a miscommunication, sir. That is a failure, okay? That is, you really should have got beat on sight. It would have been hands on sight for me if I was Serena. You lucky I'm not Serena, and you lucky she's pregnant. So, like, what is that gonna make up for what? People just be saying dumb stuff sometimes on this show. So, we see that they continue to have their sexual tension. They should just smash and get it over with, because I know he wants to. I know he wants to. Just desperate, just thirsty. Like, have some respect. Stand up. Stand up, Mr. Tuello. Stand up. Okay? It's really, I cannot keep watching this every single week. So we cut back to, and then she told him, like, you need to leave some before the Martha starts snitching. I said, if y'all ain't got nothing going on, then what he needs to go home for then, Serena? You don't trust yourself? You feeling hot and bothered, Serena? Is that why you telling him that he needs to get up out of there? But we cut back to, we just gonna call them Mayday, because then we figured out Mayday was real. The Mayday people, they like real rebels. They got the flag upside down and everything. Everybody got guns. I was really here for every single moment of this. But we see them, when they go in, they see all these people and they're like, wow, you were able to help all these people. But they were like, this is also the people that we lost. And that's when Moira and June find out that Mayday was actually real. They thought they were just going crazy. Like, it was just something, a dream that they clung to really help them keep going each day. But Mayday is actually a real thing. It's not a person. It's everyone who's trying to help people get out. Like, everybody is a part of Mayday. And I thought that was really cool because, like, I know that they thought that it wasn't real after a while, especially everything that June and Moira had went through together. So we see that, we see that Serena and Mr. Tuello go to Commander Lawrence's house. He's having a dinner. And when he opened the door, he was like, oh, look, the dynamic duo. And I was like, exactly, who needs to smash and get it over with already? But the way that he told Mr. Tuello to stay outside, he said, we got a strict no spies allowed. I said the level of petty on Commander Lawrence sends me every single time. I don't want him to die because I don't know what I would do without his pettiness every single week. I just love it. But we see that also Commander Mackenzie, who, you know, him and his wife, they're the ones who has Hannah, aka Agnes, if you, depending on who you rooting for in this story. But they have Hannah, so he was there. And then also to Nick and his new wife, Rose, she was there too. And then she gonna tell him, like, Serena's like, oh, me and Nick, we go way back. We friends. We the best of friends. I said, ma'am, you, like, force him. You know what? I'm not even gonna rehash that. Because you know you're not right. And you know you and Nick are not friends whatsoever. But low-key, Rose and Nick have good chemistry. Like, she is giving me, like, a beard best friend, aka side piece, aka placeholder for June forever. Like, I'm here for her. I was like, y'all so cute together. Even though you can never convince me that you guys are actually in love, will ever be in love. You would never be able to match up to June. But I still thought they were cute. Like, they had good little banter back and forth, like a little boring couple. I was totally here for it. But we see that Mr. Mackenzie, Commander Mackenzie, tells Serena, like, I know that June was responsible for Fraggety's death. And so he started talking smack at the table. Like, it looked like he basically, when Mrs. Mackenzie called June like a devil, I can't believe our Agnes came from that devil woman. I know that Nick was about to be like, bitch, say one more thing. Say one more thing up in here. I'm finna flip this whole dinner table up if you say one more thing about her. But it seems like, I feel like they're gonna try to assassinate her, take her out, because he was like, she's like a cancer that needs to be cut out. And I was like, oh, June, They coming for you, but that's because they scared. Because he was like, who's to say that she not gonna come in and try to murk me because I got Hannah? Like, sis, no. But let's cut back to Aunt Lydia. Why is Aunt Lydia beating on people in a damn coma? Why is she beating on them? So Esther had poisoned both herself and Janine in last week's episode. So Aunt Lydia is at the hospital, and then she go to Esther's room, and she really slapped the taste out of her mouth. Like, her whole head moved like this. Because you know she can't defend herself because she in a coma. I was like, wow, you really like slapping hoes in their coma? Like, that's what we doing, Aunt Lydia? Then you had the nerve to walk across the hall and start praying for Janine, knowing that you have never protected these women, knowing that it is your fault that they're in this predicament because you didn't protect Esther. You damn sure ain't never protect, well, you kind of low-key, you do have a soft spot for Janine, so I will take that back. But you still ain't ish, and then you praying, it be cracking me up how y'all be praying to God, and y'all are literally, like, abusing women. What are you praying for? Like, you think the Lord is finna answer your prayers? Like, girl, bye. You know what? I'm not even gonna do it. So yeah. So I'm happy that they actually didn't drag the whole thing with Janine out for, like, multiple episodes. I was very happy when I saw, like, you know, she woke up in this week's episode and Aunt Lydia was very excited. I thought it was really nice it wasn't nice for Mrs. Putnam because she clearly said, y'all made me come here because I definitely did not want to be here. But I thought it was like a cute nod how, like, when Angela was fighting for her life, how Janine was able to help Angela get better. And now Angela, when you see her, like, touching her mom's hand, and Mrs. Putnam talking about, like, I let her know that she got her beautiful smile from you, your hair, your strength. Like, I thought it was a really nice moment, even though Mrs. Putnam was clearly forced to be there. But I thought it was a nice callback because, you know, just as Janine helped Angela get better, Angela helped Janine get better. That bond between a mother and her child, I thought that was really nice to actually be able to see. So what else did I miss? Because I already dragged Aunt Lydia for filth the way that she should be dragged for filth under the jail, under the graves, for all the lives that you're responsible for, just underneath everything, even underneath hell. That's how terrible she is, that she needs to be underneath the hell jail cell too, okay? But we see that there is commotion that's happening at the Mayday camp. This dude comes up, he's delivering somebody, like, to them. They was ready to ride out. They had the guns, like, say something, do something, move the wrong way and see what's gonna happen. Thank goodness the girl came out and, like, vouched for him. And then basically, you know, June was like, hey, you're going back inside. And he was like, I have a wife and kid. Like, I have to go back. And I was like, Lord, please don't let June get no ideas. Because, you know, it took 5 whole seasons for her to even bring her ass to Canada. So the fact that he made that statement, like, I have to go back. I can't leave my wife. I can't leave my kids. I feel like June gonna be like, I gotta go back to Gilead and get Hannah, because clearly she loves to self-sabotage her life, and she just loves to torture herself. And she has a bond with Hannah, and she's not gonna let it go. It's crazy because Serena and Mr. Tuello look like they coming back from a date. They doing like that little slow walk, and he's smiling. And I was just like, the way that you get so hot and bothered for this devil, I just don't understand it. But then she like invite him in. He got all excited. I was like, Serena, you finna get your back blown out? You really finna do that? Because I heard like the pregnant women, they really be going to town. I don't know about that, but I'm just saying that's what word on the street said. So they go inside. I'm thinking they finna like, let's get it on. But then I was like, we in Gilead. I know ain't nothing finna happen for real. So basically she tells him that she's staying in Gilead. Like, I'm home. Like, this is where I belong. And I was like, you're a clown. Like, literally Serena needed to paint the whole clown face, because the way she got played by the end of the episode, I was literally smiling, cheesing, like, you are a dummy. Literally a dummy. So Mr. Tuello, he was really upset. He was like, I can't believe this. After everything I done did for her, did she gonna sit up here and stay? And stay? And I was just like, sir, what else did you expect for someone who literally helped come up with this whole society? Like, I just really be confused that he doesn't understand. Because it was when she was like, it's a shame that you can't see all the things that we got right here. And I said, sis, what have you got in right? You ain't got nothing right. And the fact that he wants to like erase it from his mind that she is literally like one of the early architects of this society, like who kind of got all of this kicked off, I don't understand it. So was it just me, or when she kissed him on the cheek, Did he close his eyes and smell her? I was like, please stand up, Mr. Tuello. Please stand up. Stand up. Because it's just looking really bad for you. But he got even more upset when she kind of hinted towards remarrying. And I was like, now sis, this kind of stems from that awkward conversation between Commander Lawrence and Serena at his house. I was dying laughing when, first of all, the audacity of Serena to be like, I really like Eleanor. And I was like, ma'am, I know you're not bringing up Eleanor's name when you're the reason that she killed herself in the first place. And then on top of that, when Mr. Commander Lawrence was like, well, she was never fond of you, I said, ooh, girl, you know that nobody like you talking about, well, most women don't. I said, because you're the devil. Because you're literally the devil. The spawn of Satan, if not Satan themselves, okay? That's how I literally feel about it. But we see that they're interrupted. Tuello and Serena are interrupted because they summon her for the council the next day. She's getting excited because I really feel like Serena was like propositioning Commander Lawrence to marry her. Like she's trying to marry like for power. And I know he looked at her like, girl, I know you effing lying if you think I'm gonna marry your devil behind when you are literally the reason that my wife killed herself. Like you're the reason she's dead. You're the reason she's dead. And you think I'm finna marry your raggedy behind? I know you effing lying. I know you lying. So June actually gets in contact with Nick and they have a conversation. And then Nick, you know, he tells her about his wife. Because remember in the conversation when Mr. Tuello and Nick were having a conversation outside. And he was like, hey, don't tell June. I want to be the person to tell her. And I was like, not you trying to keep a whole wife secret. I'm very confused. But the way that Commander McKenzie broke all of that up, like, Nick, honey, what you doing talking to the enemy by yourself? We don't do that. You better treat Rose right, okay? Because I'm watching you. I'm watching you, Nick. And I know Nick was over it. He was like, see, this is what I be talking about. I just want everybody to leave me alone because I'm tired. I'm just tired. But she's able to have a conversation with Nick, and Nick basically tells her that the purple that she's wearing is for a school for the daughters of high-ranking commanders to basically become wives. And he's like, she's going to be okay because, you know, they really care about her. And she was like, care about her? Love her? What kind of parents that love their child sends a 12-year-old to a school to become a wife? And I was like, thank you, June. This is why Nick cannot come to Canada because even Nick just be losing his mind sometimes. And I was really confused about that. So they have a conversation and like she asked him to explain Rose and she's like, would I like her? And he was like, you actually would. And I told her about you. She kind of smiling like, I was like, not the side chick getting excited about him telling the wife about the side chick. I was just like, June, girl, you need to stand up too, okay? And worry about Luke at home, okay? But she told Nick to try to be happy. I like the montage, like him thinking of kissing her or her being there in front of him. I thought that was really nice. It's like this forbidden love, this tragic love that could literally never happen. And I don't know what would happen. Like, I would love to watch this love triangle between June, Nick, and Luke, but it's clear that she would choose Nick over Luke. Like, come on, look at the chemistry. Because June and Luke ain't got no chemistry whatsoever. I'm really trying to remind myself, like, why were y'all married in the first place? Because now I'm kind of confused. So, after that, the High Commanders, they have the meeting with June. Before that, she runs to Commander Lawrence, and she's, like, all giddy to see him. And I was like, girl, you can't be serious. And he was like, I'm sorry, do you expect something from me? Because, like, you looking at me like we yet alone friends, but could be more than friends, and bitch, I don't like you. And she was like, no. And then he was like, I'm sorry. So she goes into the council, and basically they tell her, you're an unusual woman. We don't have a place for you in Gilead. We want you to be a global ambassador. You're going to take your raggedy behind back to Canada because we don't want you here. Okay? Pack your bags. Throw away that key. Get the hell up out of here, and don't let the door hit you on the way out. They didn't say all of that, but I'm just saying that's basically what he said. And she was feeling real stupid. And I was like, go ahead and paint the clown face on your face, Serena, okay? Because you're a dummy. A dummy. But also, too, Serena, think about it. Like, also, do you feel like this is a reminder that with her being pregnant, that this proved that it's the commanders who are sterile? Like, wouldn't it cause the wives to be like, well, damn, can I get pregnant too? Is it just my raggedy ass husband's sperm that can't swim to my eggs? The reason why I'm not pregnant, will it make them question the society as a whole? Like, I think it's the raggedy men on why we can't reproduce anymore. So, like, I wonder if that's kind of what they were hinting at, or just the fact that they don't like Serena. Don't nobody like Serena in the first place. I don't know, but she asked for her staff a significant budget and protection. They were like, okay, girl, we got you. Bye-bye. But the way I wanted Mr. Tuello to get in her face and just laugh when he was like, oh, you decided to come back. Or what did he say to her? He said something smart, and then she couldn't even say nothing. She had to go sit in her seat and paint on her clown face. Because I know she felt a certain type of way that basically Gilead has rejected her yet again. They don't respect her, and just they're not going to help fuel her quest for power, even after she helped save face and help legitimize. Why am I struggling? Legitimize Gilead, their perception across the world, which is what they're looking for. Commander Lawrence is trying to get them to be accepted in the United Nations. They're trying to be like a real government, basically accepted by the rest of the world. So they, June and Moira having a conversation. She's like, how am I supposed to keep Hannah safe if I'm in Canada? Which leads me to feel like June is going to go back to get Hannah, because that man saying that to her, I knew that was going to do something to her. But they tell her that they're bringing Serena back to Canada. And baby, let me tell you something. First of all, the people blaming her with these little candles, I said, y'all are all delusional. Arrest them all. Just help them, pray for them, go to therapy, do something. Because the way that y'all siding with Serena, it don't make no sense whatsoever. But baby, let me tell you something. When she pulled up, I was first, Serena was in the car, and I was like, oh, this score is so beautiful. Like, it's a beautiful score. And then all of a sudden, you hear a bang on the window. Don't you ever touch my daughter again. I said, June popped up like a horror villain, like a horror movie villain out of nowhere. I said, girl, she gave me a damn heart attack like I was sitting in the car with Serena. And then she hit it again. Don't you ever touch my daughter again. I was like, now Serena, you knew she when I say that June was waiting for her at the door, she blocked the whole bridge off, had the brake lights on. I know Serena was shook. I know she was shook, because June showed up like a mother effing boss and was like, I dare you to do something. I dare you to move an inch. But I know what if you touch my daughter again, you put hands on my child again, it's gonna be your ass. That's basically what she said, okay? So I don't know what's gonna happen, but June gave me a heart attack. And if I was scared just watching TV, I know that Serena was scared in that car, and she's definitely gonna fear for her life. And she wasn't playing when she said she needed protection, because you should have known that June was gonna come for you, girl. That's why she was really trying to go to Gilead, because she knew June was gonna have all the smoke for her when she got back. But now, who boo-boo the fools? Miss Serena. Miss Serena is, and still Mr. Tuella, because I really don't understand why he likes her. But I'm loving this season so far. Like, I thought it was going to get a little dull once June got to Canada and she was safe. But I really like what they're doing with this storyline. And I like how we keep having this shift in power, right? We're seeing the shift in power between Serena, between June, even in Gilead. Like, they keep telling Commander Lawrence, like, a man without a wife will not have doesn't need to be in a position of power. So everyone kind of has decisions that they need to make in order to help secure their power. And I like to see how we're going back and forth with all these different characters and their quest for it and what that actually looks like. So I'm here for this season so far. You know what? Let me know, like, did you like this episode? Are you loving the season? We're 3 episodes in, but I think we're off to a pretty good start. I'm totally here for this. But yeah, those are my thoughts on The Handmaid's Tale Season 5, Episode 3, Border. As always, my name is Sharona from Pay Your Weights, and if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit the like button. Or did I say the notification bell? Do both of them. Hit the notification bell, hit the like button, tell your friends, to tell their friends, to tell their friends, and just have everybody come watch this video so we can kumbaya together. But as always, my name is Sharona Williams from Pay Your Weights, and if you like what you saw today, just get your life together, because I know I said this intro for a second time. So I'm just going to say I love y'all 3000, and until I see you again, bye.